welcome once again to my channel, and thank you for tuning in. Oh, it's been a while. I know most of you people have been wondering what's going on with me. It's almost 2 weeks now. I posted something. We were affected by the snow, the bad weather, and it affected our internet here, but thank God, I think everything is in order now. So I decided to, do something today. As I said, thank you once again to JourneyWithChizo. In today's episode, we are going to talk about another sensitive matter. Remember, this is JourneyWithChizo. Everything in this platform, most of the times, is going to be sensitive because I'm talking from the heart, and most people is going to be offended, and most people will learn from it. Like I said in my philosophy, there is nothing like failure. My definition of failure is just learning from your past, and that will drive you to your purpose. And that's why I'm doing what I'm doing today, because of my past experiences. So today's topic is gonna be, how could I be blind to love him? Was I that blind to love him? How could I have been blind to love him? Most of us has asked that question, whether you are male or female, because like I said in my last episode, love is not enough. There's so many things that goes with this relation, this institution we call marriage. Love is not enough to sustain it. So when that the magic word we call love, once we start getting into this relationship thing, and the fantasy world we call love starts fading away because of these challenges in relationship, the fluctuations, you don't see them anymore. The experiences, that first experiences, the kiss, the holding arms, all those things, once you start fading away, and the main challenge in two people living together start to envelop itself, that is when you start asking that question: have I made? Is that a mistake? What's going on? Why is it changing? Because it's not easy for two people to come together and build up a mutual understanding and commitment to live together as one. That is where the challenges come. So today, I'm going to talk about that word that every one of us has asked at some point in our relationship. At a point, you might, when it becomes rocky, you start asking that question: how could I have been blind not to see all this? So I asked that question so many times, and today, let's talk about why that question normally pumps out at certain time in our relationship. Whether you are courting, or you are already in your husband's house today, or you are about getting married, or you are anyhow in a relationship, there is a place where you normally find out that your heart starts beating. Is it a mistake? How did I wind up with this? How could I have been so blind to love him or her? So, today, imagine, just think, you are sitting down at your lawyer's office or attorney's office, trying to sign a signature that will permanently terminate your marriage. I want you to think back. The day you are signing the same signature with people around you so happy, your mother, your father, your relationship, your chief breastmate, the priest, all your relationship, all your well-wishers are behind you, signing in that paper we called marriage certificate. The joy that came with it. And imagine you right now sitting down trying to sign another signature to terminate that joy that happened that day. What happened? Remember, before this stage of signing this final verdict, bam, you are tearing all that excitement, all that joy, everything. What the thoughts, things that has happened that you cannot endure anymore. How did you land? How did you, from that big excitement to, oh Lord, how did I end up with this man? Am I so blind? What happened? All those questions. One thing that happened is your choice. I have to admit it to myself that I was making wrong choices because I want to be married. It's not that you did not see those warning signs at the first time you did, you saw it. It's your choices. So, I'm gonna talk about those choices before, especially the young ones, so that you won't make that same mistake I did. Those warning signs are there, but sometimes we try as much as, because we are so trapped. We are so trapped in the kisses, in the romance, in all those infatuations, things that we are just, at the moment that everything, the roses, the butterflies, holding hands, the romance, the talking. Oh, you were so trapped in it. And once the reality kicks in, you can face it. For example, you are a sister. From foundation, you go to church, you've been a believer, and all of a sudden, you find yourself falling in love with a man that is unbeliever, and in your head, you're playing it, that once you get married, you're going to change him. No. It's not true. So from now, you are failing from the one. Like I said something, said two things. Is one, you are with the right person, but you are loving that person wrongly. Two things in these choices. You are with the right person, but you don't know how to love that person. Secondly, you are with the wrong person, which means your lifestyle is very, very incompatible. Your values are different. You people cannot communicate in anything and agree. From day one, you are seeing those signs. But you know what? You are ignoring it. Then, the one that you love, most of us, we love the person loves us. But what we lack is how to treat that person. We take that person for granted. You are with the right person, but you don't know how to love him. You don't know how to create a real intimacy with that person. You don't. So you take him for granted. You don't know how to you don't know how to be real to that person. And sometimes you neglect the relationship. You don't make time to communicate with the person, the right person you marry. So from all these things, you notice that you are you are on your own. So when you figure out, first of all, when you meet the right person, your communication will flow. Your values, your habits, your lifestyles will blend. Those things is what's gonna guide you through the challenging periods. Like I said, sex is not the only thing that can sustain a relationship. There are so many things that can sustain a relationship outside sex. So you have to be at the first stage of your relationship. You need to know whether the man you are marrying can communicate well with you, has those values that will stand the storm. At any point, there will be a storm in a relationship. So, I am today telling you that before you go to your attorney to sign that paper called divorce, from the onset, make sure you put your choice right. Because the choices you make today is what gonna guarantee if you will end up in the attorney's house or you will continue. Because marriage is an institution. Marriage is all about compromise. The challenges will come, but it takes two people who are committed. When I use the word committed, commitment is the only thing that makes marriage work. I don't care how many sex or how many kisses or how many things you do to make it work. If you are not committed to ride that storm together during the challenging times, it's not gonna work. So my beloved sisters, please, especially the young ones listening to me or those who are still in it today, put your values. You see, those values, especially if you have the right man, please do not take him for granted. Most of us are taking our husbands for granted. We don't give them attention. We don't do things to activate that love. Remember, there is no place in the Bible God commands us to command the man to help the woman. I have gone through the Bible. All I saw was the woman should be a helpmate. And there is a reason why God put us in their life to help them. God knows they're going to fall. So many times there are so many things. God wired them that way that they will fall. So God said, I will make a helpmate for them to help them in the days of their falling. And God commanded them, to love us. So when you are helping them, they are in return loving you. So do not take your husband for granted. Because once you start taking them for granted, leaving your marital job vacuum or open, the devil will walk in. Learn the ethics of marriage, things that makes your husband happy. Every man is different. Learn those things. It might be silly talks, it might be jokes. Find the language that sparks, that triggers, that makes your husband happy. Learn the food, learn everything. That the food he loves to eat, learn it. So that you will not fall into that pit of all the time. You ask this question, how could I be blind to end up with him? That phrase or that terms is in your hand to change. You can change it depending on what you are saying or the value you place on your man by thank you, Lord, for giving me this special man. So I want us today to pick one thing from this topic. My choice. My choice. Do I choose to value my man as the king over my head, love him, respect him, treat him like one? Or do I continue to cry all this cry, Lord, oh, how do I wind up with this kind of man or this kind of woman? Remember, there was a period when you loved this woman or this man. And everything was all about her. At what point did those things begin to change? Like I said, once the infatuation and all those magical means of, oh Lord, the love of my life start to disappear, and the challenges that comes with marriage, the building of home, the children, the mortgage, the putting everything together, loving him unconditionally, you start seeing how he snore, you start seeing how he walk, the stretch marks, and all those things that comes once the relationship start to progress. You have to build things that will stand the test of time. So my beloved sister or my beloved brother, whoever that is listening to me today, please hold on to the values, not to the substance, not to the surface stuff. Those things, he used to kiss me, he used to hold my hands, he used to open the doors. When we started, as times goes on, those things will fade away. The real thing will set in. So those real things is what sustains marriage. The way you treat him or treat her. The way you stand to be a helper to him. And the way the man, you treat her during her trying periods. Those are the things that will hold you during the challenging periods. So, my dear, I love you. And all I'm wishing all my viewers is to have a successful marriage. The one that is so peaceful and God-fearing. Thank you for watching me and listening to me. I love you, as always. Please remember to hit the like button. Please subscribe, share, and comment. And I will see you next time. I love you again. Mwah.